Hey everyone, welcome to Real Knowledge Club podcast. I'm Akshay Rashikran here. Today, here with us, we have one of the most phenomenal leaders, one of the greatest, one of the top 0.001% leaders with us, who is the father of HR in India, and who is none other than like Dr. TV Rao sir. I'm been greatly inspired by sir. I came to know about sir when I was working at the global HR community with Ramesh sir and like Shrikant sir, and having people is one of the most important thing for any company, and acquiring the top talent, retaining, and how one has to go about in this unprecedented change, like the exponential growth in this AI era. Today let's learn from absolutely like the best leader. And for all the people who don't know about like TV Rao sir, TV Rao sir, he's the father of HR in India, the founder of National HRD Network, the first honorary director of the Academy HRD, and he's also the former HRD advisor of the Reserve Bank of India. And he has consulted companies across the world from India, like the top companies like Tata, Infosys, L&T, and RBI, and helping organization grow to like next level with his frameworks like 360-degree feedback, the leadership development, HRD audit systems. And today, let's pick the brain from the best of the best people. Without any further delay, let's all welcome Dr. TV Rao sir to the Real Knowledge Club Summit.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Akshay.
Welcome, sir. Thank you for taking your super valuable time. It's a great honor to have you with all of us today. Yeah.
Akshay, all that you have said is correct except the first opening statement. I am not father of Vichadi because I don't have any children with that name.
Yeah,
Many
sir.
people in India would like to respect others by giving such titles.
Yeah.
So somebody someday, almost some 25 years ago, on stage gave me the title. Uh,
Okay.
Immediately on the same stage, TN Session was there. He was sharing the dais with me.
Mm.
He got up and with an angry tone, he said, "Who says TV Rao is the father of HRD?
Mm.
Ved Vyas is the father of HRD in India." I think that is through all those who have given us wisdom uh, through our scriptures and other things. I think they are the fathers of HRD. But nowadays I reverse and I tell everyone, you are your own father or mother of your HRD. So
Mm.
everyone takes care of his or her own HRD. So there is nobody to take care of your learning, your growth. Ultimately, it is you who have to take care. But the rest of what you said is nice of you. I
Yeah.
think they are factual.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Sir, we are curious to know about your backstory, sir. Like, how did you get started, and what made you dedicate that you have to go all in and like empower people in like people management and like leadership?
I think it's very, very difficult to trace anything like a planned way in which one grows. I think in our country, a lot of what happens to you is dependent on circumstances.
Mm.
You are lucky to have parents, and I was lucky to be born in a family where I think my uh, father ditched my mother even before I was born, and therefore she had to bring me up. And she had only one determination to educate me. No matter what happens, she said that you should be educated. So that is one important point. And wherever possible, I'm not one of those lucky to be going through a public school or an English medium or international school. I got educated in an ordinary local Telugu medium school in Andhra Pradesh, in a village. It's a village school. It is only towards the end of your school final you discover, I mean, wherever you get admission. So I think I didn't know that I was good at maths until the results came. And I think I scored very high percentage in those days in my school final. And therefore, the suggestion was I should do mathematics, physics, and chemistry. When I joined the pre-university at Loyola College, and I was lucky to have people there, particularly some of the priests there were very nice. The principal of the Loyola College, one Father Gordon. I think he's an Irish priest. Didn't speak Telugu. He took some interest in this young little lad, and then he started, I suppose, advising me what to do, what not to do. And it was his suggestion after I did my graduation in maths, physics, and chemistry. It was his suggestion that I'll be too young to do my MSc chemistry, spend a couple of years as a demonstrator in a chemistry lab. And also, he got me an application to apply for Regional College of Education, Mysore. Those days, I think I didn't travel beyond Vijayawada, but I went to Mysore, got selected, topped the college in science education, and I was the youngest in the college.
Wow,
So
amazing.
there was a professor there who said, "You have an aptitude for psychology, don't waste your life in chemistry." That is how I ended up doing my master's in psychology. Dr. Parameshwaran, he took a lot of interest because of my interest in studying, learning, and so on. And he kept guiding me what should I. That's when I joined actually Andhra University to start the Department of Psychology there at that time. But didn't stay there long because I was interested in working with one Dr. Uday Pari, who just returned from US to Delhi. Uh, Asked me to join him. I went to Delhi in 1969 January. That's
Mm.
actually the real 68. I went to Andhra University, 69 January to Delhi. That's really is a change and building of my career because in Delhi, those 3 years I was there, I did a lot of things. I think the research study that I did was on how teachers impact students,
Mm.
primary school teachers. What is the impact they make on, largely fourth, fifth grades or the single teacher classrooms. A child spends more time with the teacher than with parents. So
Yes.
teachers have tremendous influence. So we studied the impact of teachers on students. I think that formed the grounding for psychology and so on. And later is, I think, going through IIM and all that, all subsequent things. But I think the strong foundations were bachelor's in education, master's in psychology, and the earlier research I have done at National Institute of Health Administration in Delhi. These were, even if you ask brief, it will be long, lengthy.
Okay. Love that. Sir, I'm also curious, like I believe like you, Narayan Murthy, sir, like you all were going for like walk and all those things. What are the values and principles you want to share to the young leaders and this generation, right? What are the things they can actually learn and imbibe and like apply in their life in order to become great, successful, and do a huge impact to the country?
Well, I don't know why you take the name of Narayan Murthy. He is certainly a mentor for many people and a friend of many, but I must tell you that I'm only an acquaintance of
Okay, sir.
Narayan Murthy, and I uh, fo- follow his life story and I like his values. The connection we have was I met him first in 1973 December. I just joined IIM Ahmedabad.
Wow.
That was the time curfew was going on in Ahmedabad.
Hmm.
Ahmedabad was going through. I was staying outside the Indian Institute of Management. And I had another colleague in IIM, Professor Ramarao. And Professor Ramarao and Murthy were good friends. And the Murthy used to work in the computer center there. He left and then he was, I think he went abroad and then he was in Pune or somewhere. Patni computer, somewhere he was working. I don't recollect. So he came to stay with Ramarao, and one of the evenings when TP Ramarao was having a cup of coffee in the evening, I joined him, and that's when he introduced me. This is at the time we didn't know Murthy is going to be one day a great guy. He was a ordinary computer professional who worked in IIM Ahmedabad and
Yes.
spoke Telugu, and therefore it was nice that three of us could speak in Telugu. I think that was a connection. After that, my connect with Narayan Murthy is when my colleague Ramarao wanted to join Infosys
Hmm.
in 91. In 1978, I was in Bangalore working for Bharat Movers. as advisor in general manager capacity. Pretty engaged. I came on leave and I was working here. In 1978, I think Narayana Murthy was not known.
Mm.
But he started his Infosys later, and Infosys was a small company sometime around 91, 92. So my colleague Ramarao said that, Rao Garu, what is your advice? I'm going to join Narayana Murthy.
Mm.
So I said that, look, I went to BEML, which was a big company, Government of India, Ministry of Defense.
Bharat Atma Limited. Mm.
Asked him a question, why do you want to join Murthy, which is a small company with less than 100 people? So you see, sometimes you can't judge the person at a given point of time on the basis of what he is at that point of time, which proves one point. I think there may be a lot of gold within us, but it's only the time that will tell. Ramarao didn't listen to me because he's a good friend of Narayan Murthy. He went and joined him. He spent a year and
Mm.
then he returned back. He went to set up some things and so on. And post liberalization,
Mm.
what happened to Infosys, I think it established. So one day, I mean, Murthy got to be known. I think Infosys is in the minds of everyone. So I was doing some research on leadership styles. I have heard so much about Murthy and the way he has been doing things and the way he built it up. So I wrote to him saying that I like to come visit you and study a little bit of your style of leadership. So he immediately, because he knew that I was a good friend of Rama Rao and a professor at IIM Ahmedabad. So he invited me. I came here and spent some time with him trying to understand his philosophy, which is very much close to what I believe should be. Believes in empowering people.
Yep.
And the only thing I remember is he took me to the canteen, Infosys canteen, and there was a large number of people standing in the queue, and he stood in the queue along with others somewhere in the last, and I was his guest. Didn't push anything. Nobody came to ask me that, sir, you. So that's a very interesting thing. Treating people with respect.
Yes.
Okay, if there is a system you have to follow. If you are a CEO, if you are a founder, you are the first one to follow all the rules. You can't. After that, I think there were occasional contacts. We were chairman of IIM Board of Governors. I was writing a book on the history of IIM. So I connected with him always. Whenever I send a mail, I think within 24 hours, that is his, not because of it. There is anything special with me, but that is his style. He replies almost all mails that one sends. So that way, I think he is a good mentor. He's a very simple person. He is someone to be. There are many people, but since you took the name of Mr. Murthy, I am taking some time to give all my
Absolutely.
connections. So he wrote an article in my book
Wow.
and also wrote an endorsement for, you see, at the back, effective people,
Yes,
one
yes, yes.
of the books.
Yeah.
So he also wrote an endorsement for that book and so on. That's
Mm.
all I can say. A person to be emulated, a person with strong values, and he himself, his life history is quite known, how he changed his views about life and so on. Akshay, I can go on and on.
Absolutely. Love that, sir. Like it's like so inspiring, like the simplicity and
Yes.
you got to meet him like even before Infosys like was started. Like that's crazy, amazing. Sir, and what's very important nowadays is like AI is like disrupting so many companies. Recently, like Oracle also fired like more than 30,000 employees globally, 12,000 people workforce in India. What is your take, sir? Like, how should people actually go about nowadays? Like, job markets, it's like disrupting so fast. It's like uncertainty. In those days, in the olden days, people were very certain. These days, what's going to happen tomorrow, next week, next month? No one has any clue. How should one actually go about in these days, sir?
Akshay, I think we are passing through interesting times.
Hmm.
But these interesting times are there all the time. Go back to 92, look at the state in which we were. Go
Hmm.
back maybe 10 years before, look at the state in which we were. So, post liberalization, I think employees being checked out of companies was
Hmm.
quite normal. The reason was different. India opened up, many multinationals started coming in. We didn't allow insurance companies into the country, but we allowed them. We allowed banks, we allowed everyone. Then many Indian companies observed that what we work or whatever what we as people get done with 3,000 people, they get done with 300 people. In
Hmm.
other, that means there is a system of working, there is a way of working, there is a little bit of technology that is used. So many private companies and later public sector discovered that Indians could work more smarter, far better, and can achieve a lot more because we didn't have earlier comparisons. We had comparisons. So when you had comparisons, if you look at between 92 and 97, 98, there was a lot of, I think, derecognition of unions. Unions were told if the company doesn't survive because now we have competition. So there were a lot of articles written on people who were given voluntary retirement and things like that. So that was the period.
Hmm.
Or you look at around 2000, what happened when the Y2K happened and so on. There were a lot of issues. Then 2008 crisis. Then COVID crisis.
Hmm.
Now the AI crisis.
Yeah.
Now, from all these, I can say one thing: life will go on. Don't worry about life. These are all things that happen because of technological innovations or health disasters or tsunami or things of that nature. This is AI is like a tsunami
Yes,
in
sir.
a way. Only thing is that was artificial. When tsunami was natural, this is artificial because AI is an artificially created crisis
Yeah.
by not following some of the ethics and values.
Hmm.
So my answer to your question is every corporation, why does any corporation exist? Why does any business exist? The purpose of every business is to serve people.
Hmm.
Any business,
Yes, sir.
including those that manufacture liquor and cigarettes, they are also serving people. They all claim that we are creating happiness in unhappy people. We are there to reduce tension, whatever it is. Agree, disagree, that is okay. But all the other companies are meant to serve people.
Yeah.
So if you are serving people, what are your employees? Your employees are used to serve people.
Hmm.
How do you how effectively you are serving people? You measure by your profits, top line. Now, what happens is service goes to the background, top line becomes important. Now, top line at any cost, that is where the problem comes. I must make profits at any cost. People don't say, if I have to make profits at any cost, sometime those people who are helping me to make profits, if I get them out of my company, someday it is going to hit me back because it reduces my brand, it reduces my intentions. I become a very, what you call a very selfish kind of a business person. No, this is not the kind of a business I want to run. I want to run a business ethically and with people. These are the people who have given me whatever I am today. So I am grateful. With gratitude, with compassion, I want to run because after all, I am in the business of servicing people. So you have to balance your objectives of your company with your employee welfare. If I don't have good people, happy people, I can't. Now this new tool has come, AI has come, artificial intelligence. What has it done to you? It helped you to discover, like in 1992 to 98, we discovered with good management systems, you can produce quality products at low cost by getting people to do a lot more work. I
Hmm.
think today what you are saying is, I don't need some people. They can, I think AI can take care of it. A lot of administration, all routine things can be done by AI.
Hmm.
So what is my solution to this? My solution is get rid of those.
Hmm.
That's not the right solution because you're hitting at the very purpose for which you are there. Okay? No, but not profit at any cost. Profit with values, profits with purpose, profits with larger society. Now, if you therefore are very clear about your thinking, before getting rid of 10,000 people or 15,000 people, you will first say, these are the people who have helped me to. So, what alternatives can I think of while at the same time I'm serving my other customers, can I think of ways in which I can meaningfully employ these people?
Mm.
So I think many companies, unfortunately, are short-term target oriented. This is because the world is like that. The
Yep.
world is like that. I don't need to tell you any more than what is happening in the last 2 months in this Iran and Israel US war. Very
Mm.
unfortunately, I think whatever are the reasons for this, it's not probably right thing that has happened. The entire world is suffering as a result of it. Because you have somewhere short term goals and you start fighting for them, not realizing that your short term goals and you are getting rid of people through AI is going to hit you back at some point of time. One, your values are eroded, your entire human capital is eroded. So it should not be like what we hear in economic times or Times of India. Such and such company, 12,000 people are going to be out, and they are served notice. One more fine morning, they go to the table, discover that your computer is shut off. Everything is. That's a very inhuman way of doing things. So the only thing I would recommend to companies is don't do this just because you have a good technology. Please think of all those people. I'm sure we all can you are provided employment no for these people, and there are a number of others you are providing employment. What are the ways in which you can use? Because human talent is unlimited. Your business is not the only kind of a business. So my recommendation, this is a value based recommendation to people, is please don't get rid of people like this. If a new technology has come, think of ways in which you can engage them, make their lives happy, make the separation very. I think human beings are highly talented. A lot of things can be done, and so on.
Yes.
Now, there is another part of your question which I will very quickly say two, three things. Now, if you are one of those who are retrenched like this, so you are now suffering, suddenly you discover. I have two lessons to draw for all those people. For everyone, I would recommend please spare some time, some effort, and some money for your future. Especially if you are a family man, you're married. Even if you are not married, I would recommend this. Think about some saving, some way of, like, I think you have put a very interesting post about most people don't even know how to breathe. I
Yeah.
think it's a very interesting kind of post that you have put. I have not seen it fully. I'm going to see it.
Today being the World Breathing Day.
Yeah. So you should care for your future. Just as you're caring for the environment, you're saying, look, I should cut trees. I should make sure the future generation should have clean air to breathe. Same way, you need to think, you as a retrenched human being, why are you suffering? This is because you have not planned your life. Nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. All those who are there in the company today, you're one of those who are asked to leave. But someday other people also will meet same. So don't worry about it. Think of alternative ways in which you can plan for your own life. I want to say people are talented. There are so many ways of living, happy living, healthy living, and everyone doesn't need to have a Mercedes Benz car, and then you have to have a driver. I think it's all that not necessary at all. In fact, I think all these have their own. I think learn to live an ordinary, simple life, very simple life. All that you need is, during COVID time, we have seen three of us in our family. We were living, you couldn't go out, you were wearing masks, you are doing all your work. Very healthy time, 6 months. We were able to live with 6,000 rupees, 7,000 rupees for entire month. All that you need is some vegetables and some rice and some chapatis to eat. That's all you need. And you clean your own house, you wash your own utensils, you do everything. So learn to lead life simple, in a simple way, and bring out the entrepreneurial talent in you. Everyone is talented. What happens is, in our country, when you are employed, when you get first salary, you become dependent on somebody else. That's not right. That is what becomes. You work for 2 to 3 years, you have already forgotten your entrepreneurial talent. I think India is a look at. I think you are in Bangalore, right?
Yes, sir.
Walk in any street, just observe how many people are just living. So many interesting things. There are hand cart people who make these lovely bhajis and then sell. You see how many people are getting around. The small restaurants that are there. There are vegetable vendors. There are all kinds of. How are they living? And they are living happily if you look at it. So I think you need to have, and those people who are getting out of these companies, they are more than, I think they have the technology. I think you can set up your own little shop, technology shop, educate other people, go to a school, teach. I think you need to arouse your entrepreneurial talent, and you should be able to manage. So I would say be prepared, save for the future. When you are in tough times, you can take care of it. And I think don't lose your sleep over, because after all, you have talent, and keep discovering. That is what I would say. It's a
So
long answer.
yeah, love that, sir. Like your insights, sir. One of the very big question what I have realized after speaking to like lot of entrepreneurs is how to hire the right people and like retain them. Because many business owner tell like people come, they learn and they go off, right? Again, they keep on training new people, right? How do we know which person is going to be more loyal or like who is going to stay with us for a extended longer period of time, sir?
Akshay, you'll have a little bit of an unusual answer
Yeah,
for
sure.
this question from me.
Yep.
First of all, today we are in a highly transient world.
Mm.
Recently, I was attending a talk by one of the HR managers, HR leaders actually. She said, in the last 10 years, I have not changed my job, but my company has changed 8 times. I am the same, but 8 times the company has changed from one hand to another. Yeah, I think that is the way. I think this is an extremely, I mean, unusual answer. But there are every third, fourth year companies are selling themselves, barring the big company like Tata, TVRLS, Infosys, Wipro, and so on. I think they're all stable, long-term companies. But any ordinary company, you never know when they are going to sell. So jobs have become very transient. Okay. So if you are changing your ownership now and then, depending upon what you like, what is wrong if an employee finds a better job and then quits your company? So I think this is to expect somebody to stay long with you is a wrong expectation. But having said that, if you want really people to stay longer, be human. Treat them like your family. I think, and if you do that, that question does not arise because you are transparent, you are trusting, you take care of them, they take care of you. So there is a bondage that is established. So this bondage has to be always two-sided, and it starts with the owners, and we don't find those owners nowadays. So I think this question of people joining and going, if you look for, suppose you find the best match, yeah, I'll use all best possible recruitment techniques and find the most suitable person.
Mm.
Recently, I saw a post in LinkedIn by a very famous good HR leader. He says that always hire people who are better than you, more
Yeah.
competent people than you.
Yes, yes.
My answer to do that was, you hire a person who is more competent than you. That means the fellow is really capable. Within 3 to 4 months, remember there are many others hunting for the same fellow, and he would be offered twice or thrice what you are offering. He quits. In two
Absolutely.
to three months, you can't expect. So competent people are being hunted everywhere.
Mm.
So therefore, now you will increase and you will get another competent fellow, and that fellow is being. So this has become a part of life. I think I would only say, don't waste your time. You make sure that you get the most suitable person for managing our whatever other technical, competencies are technical, behavioral, attitudinal. So in the past, they used to say, hire them for technical competencies and compensate them for their attitude and things like that. There are all kinds of things that are there. So you certainly take care of all hiring has become short term today, skill based. I would say I think you should have people who are skill based, because without it you can't manage. Take care of them as much as possible. And if people are leaving, examine yourself rather than accusing them. This
Mm.
is very important for you. You need to examine yourself. And not that you will find easy answers, but examine, try your best, keep improving, and so on. Don't unnecessarily waste your time saying that I'll have better, best techniques of recruitment and this and that. This has become a big racket because nothing is predictable.
Hmm.
What is predictable is if your technological requirement, skill base is right, you got a skilled person. I think that is large extent predictable. Attitudes are very unpredictable because you are in a world where I think we are getting shaped by what is happening in the neighborhood. So even people with good value system are getting changed. So I think it will accept that you must maintain your values. So in sum, what I want to say is don't unnecessarily waste your time on getting recruiting, retention. These retention researchers have become a racket. Okay,
Hmm.
everyone says I will give you retention technique and all that. I think they are all AI based. AI may help you eventually if you are good AI centric person and maintain your data. The data will tell you what mistakes you are making.
Hmm.
So that's a good use of AI, but it will take time for AI to serve you, become predictable, and help you to do things. That
Absolutely.
makes sense, Akshay.
Yeah. Love,
This
love
is the
that, sir.
problem with the professor is this. If you ask him one question, he will give a lecture.
Absolutely love that, sir. It was super amazing. Now I'll be asking you rapid round questions, one-liners. Are you ready for it, sir?
Yeah, better. I
Oh.
think close it now with rapid round.
Oh, define one word for like HR, like what it takes to become a great HR.
Helping people.
Love that. Define leadership, how to become a great leader.
Always think ahead.
Love that. And what are your one to three your favorite books? What you'll recommend everyone to read?
I think there are some very good books. I would certainly recommend people to read any of these spiritual books, any one of them.
Hmm.
You read Bible and follow, or read Gita and follow, or you read Quran, you read Buddha, any of those. And then many of those videos and other things are available. But what I'm saying in terms of leadership is a good book to read. I'm very influenced by Leadership Wisdom by Robin Sharma.
Hmm.
There used to be a world when I was in college, used to read this book. Dale Carnegie books were very good. How to win friends and influence. There's a lot of psychology. How to win friends and influence people. How to stop worrying and start living. I think a lot of psychology in that. Any self-help books of this kind are good. Okay,
Absolutely. Love
and
that.
lot of interesting personality development books. I think I have one book, Effective People, which is nothing to do with professionalism. In this book, I have taken examples of people from film actors, civil servants, doctors, teachers, social workers. I think if somebody has time and effort, it's very easily available on Amazon. Do read this book. I have given many such books that one can read from these.
Absolutely. Love that. Sir, what is the secret behind your energy? You are so much pumped up and like with so much energy and passion. You are still working with so much enthusiasm.
Tell you, for me, work and life are not different. They are same. So therefore, when people ask work-life balance, I get amused. When Narayana Murthy said everyone should work 70 hours a week, I thought he should have said 168 hours a week. Why 70 hours? Because for me, when you sleep, you are working because you are preparing for work. If you don't get sleep, you can't work well. When you're eating for work, you're walking for work, or keeping yourself trimmed for work. So all purpose of life is what? Live happily. How do you live happily? By working happily. So to me, these are not. So I enjoy what I do, and that if you have to, I think you should do things which you enjoy to the extent possible.
Love that. And what's the one mistake you see like 90% of like world or like leaders are like repeating and doing? If they can fix it, they can impact and empower more people.
Integrity, making false promises, not
Hmm.
being honest, okay, telling lies, all are same category. I think
Absolutely.
this is not right. I think they should be living with values. They should honor their promises, whatever. Then don't make promise if you can't honor it. That is what I say. Integrity of thought, word, and deed. Integration of what you say, what you do, and what you think.
Love that. And what will be your three piece of advice for all the HR leaders who are watching this podcast across India?
I just this morning, just before I came to you, I gave a short talk. They are testing out a new HR model. I said, whatever you do, most important competency every HR manager should have is being human. Being human. A HR manager should be more human. What does being human mean? I said that you should be like, after all, we have come from earth, nature. We are all products of nature, right? All our body consists of those five elements: water, air, fire, okay, all these five elements. So you're going to ultimately enter into that. So, as a good HR manager, each element has a lesson to teach. Okay, water, be flexible like water. Air is available to all. Don't differentiate people in terms of caste, community, religion, etc. What you be available to everyone, irrespective of the designation and everything. Fire, that means you're powerful, you're consistent. Earth, you're solid. Okay, so I think being human is the most important quality all HR managers should have. If you don't have it, no matter what are the other qualities you have, you cannot be a good HR manager.
Absolutely.
That's what is important.
Love that. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing such a great wisdom with all of us. And last words you want to tell to everyone, like before, like we wind up, sir.
No, thank you very much. I think it is very nice. I didn't know when you asked me. I kept postponing this, thinking that actually what do I have to share really. I mean, I'm quite comfortable with HR people, but if I have to give something in general, I was not sure. But I think good you have kept me quite busy and reflective. So thank you for this
Thank you.
interview. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Sir, and also share us about your book also, sir. Like how can one actually grab your book, which is in your behind, and tell us about that as well.
On Amazon.in or Amazon.com. Put Effective People by T.V. Rao. There is a recent edition in which I have endorsement by Nadilla.
Yeah,
Uh, nice enough, along with Narayana Murthy and a number of others. Harsha Bogle, a few others have endorsed this book. It's an interesting book. Amazon.in, Effective People by T.V. Rao.
absolutely. Thank you so much, sir. It was a great honor to have you with all of us. And everyone who have watched till now, do like, share it, and subscribe with your friend. And also let us know what are your three biggest takeaway, what have you learned, and how you're going to implement. That being said, have a great day, everyone. Bye bye. See you all.
Thank you. Thanks a lot,
Thank
Akshay.
you,
All the
sir.
best. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir.